This episode of the Bayou Dragons podcast is proudly brought to you by Dragon Industrial Wrap.
Fierce. Ready for any project, no matter how big or how small. Dragon Industrial Wrap.
And we are back. Episode 46 of the Bayou Dragons podcast. It has been a little while, but it's me, which I am. My name is Porter May. I'm with Mitch McCall and Ryan Warhola. I'm not going to say special guest anymore just because you've been on 8-9 times. You've got recognized this week. You signed your first Bayou Dragon autograph.
I did. Felt very good about that.
Dude, that was so great. I just got a random phone call from Ryan, which me and Ryan talk a lot, but he was like, man, signed my first autograph today.
It was funny. The kid was so excited. I'm like, I'm a nobody, but I'll sure sign your hat for you.
That's how I feel about every time I do. Like, we do sign hats. It's like, I'm just a guy. But you know what? If you want it, I'll do it.
It's pretty cool. But we have been pretty dang busy. We haven't done an episode in a while, but hunting season's kicked off, and we've been hunting a lot. Pretty much every opportunity we get, we've been out there chasing birds, and we've been doing pretty good. We've had a great first split, did a little trip up north, and have some great stories on that, and I'm ready to jump into them.
Yeah. So after teal season, I think we had Brian right in our last podcast. We had Brian, and it was in the split. Like, we'd already had a teal season. We talked about that. We had a great teal season. Hunted a couple different places. Hunted with Ryan out at Pipkin and smashed ass. But we didn't hunt big duck season down here until we got back from up north. We drove up to Canada and smashed on the mallards and the Canada geese. Had a great time.
Awesome time, and that was the first time pulling the trailer. I will say this, though, man, that trailer, last year we pulled a different one. This year we pulled ours going down them dirt roads, man. That trailer was letting a bunch of that dust in and just getting a bunch of our shit in the back dusty.
I didn't know you can close those little ports.
I got you.
Like, we should have had them closed. I didn't know that they're open. We haven't drove on any dirt with it yet. Because we took that thing in the fields, you know. But those little air ports keep it from, like, getting pressed up inside of there when it gets real hot. But when it's cold, it's not really a big deal.
Yeah.
Which it really wasn't cold up there this year. I mean,
shit, last year Porter was saying, I think the average temperature was in the negatives, but one day Porter was like, dude, it was like 70 degrees colder.
72 degrees colder to the date.
That's crazy.
I mean, we were looking at 50s, most of the time on average, probably 30s to 50-degree temperatures up there this year, which was a complete different story than last year.
It hurt. So when we got there this year, the main thing I noticed, which was crazy, was so much corn. And that little town we usually hunt is kind of split up between wheat, alfalfa, corn, sugar beets.
Sugar beets, yeah. That used to be, you see mountains of sugar beets up there.
Not a single sugar beet field.
It was all either just corn or dirt.
Like, they already tilled it, like cut, tilled, so there was nothing. And I'm talking corn 4 miles. But it was uncut corn. It was full-grown stock corn. So that, like, as soon as we got there, it was like, fuck, this is kind of a problem.
Yeah.
Just with when you have 85 square miles of just corn. The sugar beet, not having any sugar beets really hurt us.
Yeah, because usually you have a lot more sugar beet than anything, right? Wasn't there like a plant up there or something?
Yes, there's a sugar factory up there.
Yeah.
Closed down.
Oh, okay.
That's the whole thing. It closed down, so they stopped doing sugar beets.
I mean, I remember the first time I went through that area and I saw those big mounds of beets, and I was like, what the hell is that? And Colby's like, that's sugar beets.
Yeah.
And they let them sit like that because it's so cold up here. They just sit there and they're fine, and then they refine them as they go.
Yeah. I didn't know what it was the first time I went up 3 years ago. Those 18-wheelers, they have them piled up. It looks like dirt.
Yeah, just little dirt clods.
Little dirt clods. I'm like, why are they fucking hauling out? Just look like muddy rocks. And they're like,
wow.
No, those are beets. No, the sugar plant shut down, which sucks for that community. They lost a lot of, that was like their main source of like income. So everybody just swapped over. They're like, well, and from what I get, I talked to some of the farmers, like the sugar beets, they would do corn or wheat, and then the next year they would do sugar beet.
Sugar beet, yeah.
You put nitrogen and all that shit back in the soil, like in the soil, because it's, grown in the ground, the whole deal. But they didn't have it, so everybody this year just planted corn. And I was like, fuck.
Yeah, that was pretty much it up there. It was all corn.
And it was either, like, and we just hit it. We had a great time, and we'll get into talking about the birds we did shoot, but we just hit it at the wrong time, though. If we would have been up there a week later, it would have been 20 degrees colder, and people were starting to cut their corn or either till up the little stalks of it. So
yeah,
it would have been a lot easier to hunt.
And most of the birds that we did hunt up there were in that cut corn. They were in there pretty thick too. But most of the fields were just unharvested. And it was like, man, you got all this corn. You need to harvest that corn at some point, you would think. But I don't know. I guess they know better. Johnslin, our key guy that we always get, like our first guy we get permission on, because he has 600-700 acres of land right on the river. He always just says, yeah, go ahead. You can do whatever. We shoot pheasant. We shoot geese, ducks, whatever. But he started harvesting the day before we left. And I'm talking harvesting. He had 500 acres of corn that he was harvesting. And I was like, this place would be a fucking madhouse, because he had a roost of like 1,500 geese. I'm talking on his property. And we never got to hunt his property really, except for pheasant. Yeah, it was 6 foot tall fucking corn stuff. Yeah. He's like, well, y'all came a little early this year. I'm like, which he's like 80 years old, so he goes on his own pace. Yeah, no doubt. But there's a lot of...
I think their harvest up there, though, is dependent on when it starts getting cold,
And it wasn't cold yet. They only had one cold front.
Yeah, they just let it go until it gets that cold snap, and they're like, okay, we're done.
Yeah, we can harvest it now, I guess. And I guess up there, like you're saying, if it don't get stupid cold, I guess everything stays fresh. Yeah. If it stays like 40, 30 degrees.
It's like a friggin' refrigerator.
Yeah. They're just, okay, we'll harvest this shit whenever we get to it. So there was a lot of, I'm talking miles of uncut corn, and it was a problem. And the geese don't fly in it. Well, but there'd be random spots that are cut, that we couldn't see. Like scouting was a lot harder, because there's a lot of properties that, there's uncut corn at the front. Well,
another key thing, though, is you didn't have a freeze, so you didn't have all the ponds. All the roosts weren't frozen. Yeah. That concentrated everything to the river. Yep. Once they concentrate to the river, it's a lot easier to hunt them, because every bird in the country is in the river.
Yep. No, because we pulled up to a little pheasant hole that we have on some BLM stuff, and like one day I counted 58 geese just chilling on this little pond that we hunt pheasant by. I'm like, last year there was 3 foot of ice over there. You could have ice skated on.
Yeah, exactly. They were definitely scattered this year.
It was a whole different year. Definitely learned a lot. We had to scout a little bit harder. Like you said, last year everything was concentrated in one spot. Yeah. There was only 3 cornfields, so we locked those down, and we had fantastic hunts every year or every day. Yeah. But I did notice, like last year, and I don't know if maybe the snow had to do something with it, and this might be something that someone from up north might know better than me, but like in the snow, we had 3 or 4 great hunts in like alfalfa. Yeah. And when it was warm, while we're up there wasn't a goose on an alfalfa field at all.
So it's no different than here. Think about snow geese here and speckled bellies here. When do they hit the ryegrass in the winter wheat? January, February. Yeah. So it's a cold, hardy nutrient for them to get on. That plant grows in cold weather, so that's what they move to when it gets cold.
Maybe so. Yeah. I mean that sounds very good. Last year it was like we were looking for alfalfa. Yeah. Because there wasn't that much corn, but like there was quite a bit of alfalfa. Like that same field we hunted was all alfalfa again this year, and I never saw a single goose on it. Yeah. Like, they're all in the corn, but I mean
when they get cold, they're looking for that really hardy nutrient, because they're got to keep their bodies warm.
I guess that corn really don't do it. That's just an easy fucking snack.
Yeah.
Just picking away.
There were a lot more ducks flying around this year, though.
Because it wasn't frozen, I guess.
Yeah.
they still were chilling.
And that makes me very excited because the hunts that we've had, well, you had one Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday, Mitch and I and Matt hunted. There's a lot of birds here, and it's not even frozen up north yet.
Yeah.
So just wait.
It's been stupid this year. I will say this has been a solid year. And in the last couple of years have been like, it's been kind of hit or miss almost every time you hunt, but not this year so far. For the whole first split, I will say it was a banger every single hunt I've had.
This is the best first split I've had in Southeast Texas in the past probably 5 or 6 years of hunting.
If y'all remember, we had this podcast at Pipkins, and I said if this drought holds, it's going to be a banger.
Yeah.
And look at it.
It did hold.
And it's a banger.
It's been stupid.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Like, so we'll get to how stupid it's been down here. But so the Montana, Canada trip, we got up there, scouted, found what we needed, got permission, had a few good hunts. But the whole time when we started there, there's this little hotel that we stay at every time. Well, there's a fucking hockey tournament going on, like in the town that we're at. So, like the hotel, there wasn't a room to spare. Like it was, the parking lot's packed, everything.
Kids running around everywhere. It's a younger deal, like a bunch of, I guess, like middle school age children running around.
Yeah, running around. I'm talking the whole town is packed. So we're like shit, man. This is different. There's a lot of people on the roads, everything like that, but. So we go do our first hunt, successful hunt, like nothing crazy, but I think we shot a 4-man limit of geese out of 5. So not bad. It wasn't like, wasn't the start of like last year where we shot like 6-man right off the rip, but it was like, good hunt, So we always clean birds at the beginning so we can eat on them. Mm-hmm. Like we don't do the transport yet.
Yeah.
Like we breast out birds because we're about to eat these things, So we breast out some geese, and we have a mutual deal. I've stayed at the same hotel now for 3 years. The dude that runs it, the manager's cool as shit.
Yeah.
He knows we hunt. We get the hunter discount, and we throw the geese away in the dumpster.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's cool because it doesn't smell. It gets taken out every day, blah, blah, blah. It's cool as shit. Well, we're getting DMs. Day one, we're getting DMs of, it was actually Tanner carrying geese to the carcass of the geese to
You got the kids and the parents of the kids in the hotel rooms facing the rear parking lot, and we're out in the back, cleaning our birds and, disposing of them. And they're videoing and shit and messaging us. Game wardens have been called, throwing whole geese in the trash. No, they're cleaned, dumbass. We've cleaned these birds, disposing of them. And it's just a big ordeal, so... They call, I guess the warden's got quite a few complaints on that. So they came to the hotel, checked everything out. We weren't there. Looked through the trash. Everything was cool. And then, Porter, if you want to resume the story.
Yeah. So on their side of it, day one, they said they got a phone call as soon as we got into town with our trailer. Like from local law enforcement, just saying, hey, letting y'all know there's some guys up here, So it's like, first off, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But so they're like, we knew when y'all rolled into town. Y'all have a nice trailer. It's flashy. It's fancy.
Small town.
Very small town. So I was like, look, I get it. Any publicity is usually good publicity, but not when you're not with the game wardens. But he was like, and the only reason I know this is because he told me personally. There was a whole sting operation going on us day one. He was coming and checking our birds.
Yeah.
Every afternoon. Checking the birds. Like, he did it 3 days in a row. Like, checking the birds in the trash can, blah, blah, blah. I was, without our knowing, he was going at night.
Yeah.
And then, what was it, day 4 or 5? I think it was.
We had a banger hunt.
Fantastic hunt. Smashed the mallards. Smashed the geese. And corn stubble, just it did it right. That was the first day I looked at Tanner and said, this is how it's supposed to be up here.
Yeah.
Like, everything was just cupped up. We finally just called it. Like, we shot our limit of geese and then shot almost our limit of ducks, and we're just like, let's go eat.
Yeah.
There's a little local place over there that I would die for their French toast. It is fantastic. I get the French toast, eggs, bacon every single day.
What is the name of the place?
I'll tell you after. I don't want to. Dude, people.
The reason I asked is I probably ate there.
I guarantee. If you've been there, you have ate there.
Yeah.
Does it start with an S?
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
Top notch.
It's top notch. I just don't want people to start, and not even for me, like, because I'm not going back there next year.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to hunt there. But after the way this year went, I don't want to. I don't want to have that town bombarded with hunters.
Yeah.
Out of respect, and this is
no
me. Like, I should just be like, say where we were, everything, and let everybody go.
Yeah.
But I'm being respectful, even though we weren't treated with respect.
Yeah.
The game wardens were decent, but the landowners this year were shit.
Really?
Yeah. So it was like day 4 or 5. We talked to this guy a few times. This one dude, he was super cool. Like, he was like, yeah, you can hunt. I got hunters this week. Like, just after they leave, you can hunt. So I went and
said after Sunday, it's y'all's.
Yes, he's literally told me. And if I'm lying, I'm dying. It's not like I have nothing to lie here. He said, he was like, after they leave, I said, so like this Sunday.
Yeah.
And this is on Saturday when I talked to him. I was like, so this Sunday? He says, yes. I was like, cool. Appreciate it. Thank you. Dude, and I'm talking like I was about to buy this dude, especially after the hunt we were having. I was like, dude, I'm buying this guy a fucking steak dinner. That was my plan, was to buy him a big ribeye, all this shit. Well, we have this banger hunt. Everything's going great.
It was the following Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken.
It was Tuesday because we didn't hunt on Monday. We were I was like, look, we all agreed, let's make sure they left his hunters that he had, which we never saw anyone hunt there. We scouted every day, after we hunted. We were shooting birds, and nobody was hunting this place. And we're like, whatever. But he gave us permission on Sunday. Monday, no one hunted. Tuesday morning, we went out there, hunted, banged them out. Well, Tanner and Colton go to grab the trucks after we, been celebrating limits of freaking ducks and geese. Mm-hmm. I just get a phone call. Hey, just letting you know. 2 game wardens, male, female, they're coming to the field. They want to talk with you. And I was like, perfect. Cool. That makes your morning already like, I was amped up, ready to drink 7 pots of coffee. And then my stomach dropped in my stomach. I was like, what? And we were all talking, the whole we're like, we're legal. Everything's legal. And
we went through the whole checklist. Birds are separated, Everyone's completely legal as far as the hunting aspect goes. It was the property owner had called him on us. And then Porter we all meet him by the road. It's a dude and a chick. And the guy, I forget his name. I found him on Facebook. Nice fella. But he calls. He's like, I want to talk to the guy that spoke to the landowner, to the side. So Porter went and sat in his truck. I don't know how that conversation went.
I'm not going to say everything we said. He was cool. Like, he definitely took in consideration my side of it. But he's like, this guy said he told you this and this and this. And I was like, look, dude, I drove 25 and a half hours to get here. Like, I'm not trying to mess up anything that I have here. I've been here. This is my 3rd year. I have a good relationship with most of these farmers. I was like, this is the first time I've got permission on this property. I'm not trying to ruin it. I wouldn't have came out here without it. Told him my side of the story, and he goes, sounds good. He's like, I don't think you have any reason to lie. I was like, I don't.
Yeah.
I was like, but I don't want him to press charges on us because he was saying he told us that we couldn't hunt until the following week. And we wouldn't even been there, what I mean? Like, he should have just told us he didn't want us to hunt.
Yeah.
Like, because the whole deal, like, he told the game wardens, I told him that my kids were going to hunt at Thanksgiving and shit. And I was like, we're not going to be here at that time.
Yeah.
If he would have told us that, we wouldn't have hunted. But I said, this Sunday, he said, yes. I guess he didn't think we were going to follow through. He was holding like 5,000 birds on his property. So we went and hunted it and smashed their ass. But he was cool enough not to press charges or nothing like that, which, it was like his word against our word, but the game warden was cool. But the game was like, well, this is also our 9th phone call of y'all. I was like, 9th? He's like, yeah. He said there was 5 from the hotel, and not the hotel themselves, but people at the hotel.
At the hotel, yeah.
At the time, the people that were saying they were notifying the game wardens, every single one of them held up to their deal, sending game wardens videos of us cleaning birds. I was like, and he's like, I've already been checking that. And this is what he's telling me just one-on-one. He's like, I've already been checking that. Everything's legal. Everything's cool. Like, y'all been doing y'all's deal, the diligence. And I was like, cool. Like, we're not trying, like I said, I'm not trying to come up here and get fucked. And then he's like, we do. He goes, we've had enough, you know. Oh, and then that landowner that drove into the field, who he was trespassing. We had we had another farmer down the street get mad that we were just parked on the road.
Yeah.
Which is not illegal at all.
County road.
County road. Yeah. He drove all the way up to like our spread and started MFing us, you know, just cussing us out. And we're like, you can call the cops.
Yeah.
You can call the game warden. He ended up calling the game wardens. The game wardens told him to shut the hell up.
Yeah.
Like, because they were like, are they on your property? No. Are they parked on a county road? Yeah. Are they out of the way? Well, yeah. They're like, goodbye.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing illegal that they're doing. But you have people like that were just mad. They saw our trailer and got mad.
Yeah.
So, because I guess we probably do look like, with our trailer, like guide services and shit like that, maybe.
Yeah, maybe so. Know. They probably think that.
Just out-of-towners. We're definitely out-of-towners. Yeah. People don't like that shit. So, that was like the 6th or 7th that we got called. And then that dude, that one landowner we smashed the birds on, that was like the final straw. They came, and they're like, well, he told me to. And I was just, never had it before. Me and Mitchell were talking about it before. How are we doing on time, by the way? I'm just making sure. Okay. I don't want to have to stop this. So they're like, I mean, everything's good. We're going to check out your trailer. We're going to check out the remainder of y'all's guns, everything, you know. We've checked out your birds. Everything looks good. But now we're going to go check out your hotel rooms and do all, like,
yeah.
We had the whole deal. Like, every single one of us had to walk in the hallway. One person would walk in the room, show them our fridges. We're all standing there, like, you know, don't know what's happening. I'm talking they went, and we had to tell them everything that we had cleaned, or if we had, like, because we had, like, some partridge. We had, like, pheasant, like, already, like, with seasonings on them, like, that were going on the pit that afternoon.
Yeah.
We had goose wraps ready, you know, but we had to be like, okay, this is deer that we brought from home, you know.
Yeah.
That we cooked. So, but they were super cool. But that was like a full blown.
Yeah.
They went hard.
Yeah, I've always heard, oh, you know, game wardens can come in and they don't need a warrant. They can come in and search your freezer. I was like, yeah, it's never going to happen, you know. Sure enough, you know, both of them. Basically, what I liked about those wardens is they were very educational at the same time. And I didn't have anything to hide. We didn't. And they were like, what we're going to do, we're going to go back to the hotel, search everything. And they did a thorough search. Everything was legal. And basically, my advice to anybody that's doing these traveling hunts is to know your possession limit and know how to, these transport laws, man. You got to be on top of that shit, because you can get, they can do you in real quick.
So I don't know about Montana law. Obviously, never been law enforcement in Montana, but in Texas, game wardens cannot enter your residence without a search warrant. The only time they're going to go in your residence, check your stuff, is if they have a search warrant signed by a judge or you allow them in.
Yeah.
So, knowing what I know about the Constitution of the United States and everything else, being prior law enforcement, you probably could have told them to go fuck themselves and they'd have had to go to a search warrant. But being legal, why would you do that, right?
Yeah. Like, there was no reason for us.
Exactly.
Like, he told me, he was like, on the one-on-one, he was like, we're going to come check you. And I was just like, I said, okay. Like, I have nothing to hide.
Yeah.
And especially, and I'm not trying to, like, tell him myself, but I was like, it was like day 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, I know for sure we're in our possession limit. There's like 8 of us hunting.
Exactly.
We're fine.
So why even push that? You know, you're not in the wrong, whatever.
Yeah.
But a lot of times with game wardens, they will use their authority to say, hey, I need to go do this, and then you just go along with it. A lot of people go along with it.
Yeah.
And it happens in Texas a lot too, and I've had this happen to me. At one point, I was hunting Middleton, I came in, noticed the game warden boat was floating in the middle of Intercoastal, and he waves me down. And I was like, "Hey, bud, what's going on?" He's a federal game warden, and he says, "Hey, I'm broke down. Can you pull me in?" Absolutely, no problem. At this point, I'm thinking I'm legal. I have no issues, and I was a cop at the time, so I'm definitely trying not to break the freaking law. And so I pull him in. We get to the launch, and he's like, "Hey, by the way, I need to check y'all." I'm like, "Absolutely, no problem." Checks my hunting license, checks everybody who's with me's hunting license. I think there's 3 of us hunting at the time. It was me, Devin Cryer, and Spencer Kniff were hunting together. And he checks everything, and then he tells me, he goes, "Hey, I'm going to check your birds." So he pulls my birds. Well, I was hunting with a new dog at the time, and it wasn't real. It was actually, I think it was Spencer's dog. And I had a deck on my boat. Well, at some point, we were hunting out of the boat blind. At some point, the dog brought in a bird and dropped it, and it fell between the decking and like between the ribs of the boat. So it looks like we were trying to smuggle a duck. And he finds it. He sees his tail sticking out, and he's like, "Oh, y'all are one over y'all's limit. Who shot this?" And we're like, "Well, fuck, I didn't know we were over our limit." And I was like, "Man, look, didn't know. Obviously, the dog must have dropped it, and we didn't notice it, and we were picking up multiple birds. Whatever happened, right?" I said, "No excuse." I said, "I'll take the ticket." And ended up, Devin's like, no, it was me. And I was like, "Devin, don't do that." Well, so Devin ends up saying it's his bird. So they confiscate 6 birds that Devin picked out, plus the 7th to prove he was over his limit. And then the game warden goes, "Well, I'm going to search your truck now." And I said, "Excuse me?" He goes, "Yes, I need you to unlock your truck. I'm going to search it." Well, at this point, he doesn't know I'm a lieutenant at the sheriff's office. And I said, what justifies, what's your probable cause to search my vehicle? He goes, "Well, you were in violation of game law, and that's your truck." I said, "Okay, yes, I was. This boat was. Did you see me enter my truck prior to checking me here? Did you see me go near my truck?" He goes, "No." I said, "Well, you get a warrant to search my truck. Who do you think you are?" I said, "I think I know the law just as well as you do." And it just went south from there. Ended up not searching my truck. Ended up going, well, I guess this guy actually knows what he's talking about. We actually had a conversation later. And actually, that federal game warden, I won't say his name, became a close friend of mine after that. And I realized at this point, okay, so game wardens take people's ignorance of the law and use it to their advantage.
Well, yeah, they're the boogeyman of the law.
Exactly.
Especially for
everybody thinks they can do all these things. No, and especially in Texas, they are a Texas peace officer just like any cop, any city cop, any county cop, any state trooper. They're the same deal. There's nothing special about them. The only thing that's special about them is they can use your hunting as a probable cause.
Yeah.
To search the vehicle that you're in. So if he pulls you over because he sees blood on your tailgate, well, that gives him probable cause to search your vehicle. But if he doesn't see you in your truck, but he sees you in your boat, he can search your boat, but he can't search your truck because you haven't been around your truck.
Yeah. And you just pulled him in, which...
Yeah.
Hey, guy.
Exactly.
I guess I know who I need to call when a game warden asks me if they need to search me.
Well, that's 16 years of being a cop at one point in my life.
Yeah. No, those guys are cool, and we had nothing to hide
and
there.
With me saying everything I just said, 99.9% of your game wardens are just doing what they think they need to do their job, and they don't mean any ill regard towards anybody.
I don't think none of them.
Yeah.
They were super cool because, like, we asked them, and we didn't know this. Like, they're like, technically, like, because up there, like, certain states, when you kill it, you're supposed to harvest the meat.
Mm-hmm.
We're like, what if we're bringing it back to mount?
Yeah.
And they're like that actually doesn't fall underneath the same category. Like,
they say it's kind of a gray area. They're
exactly.
kind of like, well, if we see a bird, in a bag that you plan them out, we're not going to write you a citation over.
As long as you're not over your possession limit. That is part of your possession limit. But like, they were just like, that's a gray area. That's not a whole different thing, because every bird, like in North Dakota, Montana, I know those states, like, they're supposed to be harvested whenever they're killed. Like, and if you shoot them and not harvest them, that's even more illegal. That's why they were checking our trash cans, because they're like, we thought, like, the videos,
you just see the bird with no breath. Yeah. You see the back of the bird.
You see a bird, getting thrown in the. It's like, no, we're cleaning them. I invited that dude. Actually, I was like, if you want to, you can come and have a barbecue tomorrow. I'm cooking a shit ton of goose.
Surprised he didn't show up.
The there's not many game wardens up there.
No, there's not.
Like, I'm sure he had a lot bigger fish to fry 'cause it was mule deer season.
Oh, yeah.
Good there. But yeah, Warhola, all in all, it was a good trip.
Good.
A lot of learning. Like, I learned a lot on. It was just a lot harder this year. So it was like, now I feel like I can go a lot of different places. And
I was about to say, I think next year, got a plan.
Dude, I would love to do that hunt with you.
Plan.
Because we got all the shit, and I love that we hunt with, CC Duck Call. But he has a whole different plan of his own next year.
Yeah, he's got all kinds of plans for next year. But definitely, overall, northern trip was successful. Killed a bunch of birds. Had a great time. Good friends, and great memories were made.
We got some great documentation. Mullet, Micah Heinold. We flew him up. He was a great time. He got some bomb-ass fucking footage.
Yeah.
It looked really nice.
Oh, yeah. He gave Mitchell a bunch of shit on the hard drive, and he got a lot of photos. He's been editing a couple of videos for us that we've been posting.
And he's semi-local, right?
Yeah, he's from College Station. He's from, actually, Katy, but he lives in College Station.
We should have him come to the Pipkin Ranch.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, he would love
We
that.
should have him come. We'll put him in a room.
Dude, I was so surprised because he hasn't really done like duck hunts and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
He got so many kill shots.
Yeah.
Really?
Really good kill shots.
Like, and that's really hard to do.
He could have had a field day this weekend.
Yeah, he would have.
Yeah.
But he's solid, man. I mean, he just knows his stuff, and I think he's going to do it full time once he graduates college, and he's definitely going to have a good career out of it for sure.
Yeah.
Very
Y'all
nice.
need to check him out, Micah Heinold, or just check out, he owns Deer Mullet.
Yeah.
What a name.
Oh, yeah.
A very successful brand at that. He's got
Good.
the Deer Mullet brand.
I think
going.
I actually checked his stuff out when I saw he was with y'all.
Yeah, he has his whole brand of shit. It's great. He's killing it. He's like 21 years old.
Heck yeah.
We brought him fishing a few years back.
Little young entrepreneur, huh?
Yes. Well, we brought him fishing like 2 or 3 years ago when we first, like, Mitchell's like, hey, man, this guy does apparel like us. Let's bring him to the lake. I was like, okay. I was a little nervous. We get up there, he just kind of started getting an outdoor game, but he's like a wizard with a camera.
That's awesome.
I'm like, how old are you? He's like 18. I was like, like, oh my God.
He's young.
That's fun. That's good, though.
I was like, I'm not going to offer you a beer. And then now he's 21. I'm like, I offered him a beer, smokes, all that shit. And he's like, no, I don't do none of that. I'm like, oh, so he's just I guess
He's a good
just
kid.
good kid, man.
Yeah.
He's a good kid. And
No doubt.
which is great for us because we can just fuck around and he's just,
Yeah.
he was there. He was on it. He did a great job. If y'all need anything video done, I mean, he does take compensation, but
He's
pay for
top
him.
notch.
He is top notch. He did great.
Awesome.
I will tell you this. So we cut the Montana trip a few days short. We're like, man, let's go hunt the marsh down southeast Texas. So I'm off for the whole. At the time, I was off for the whole next week. So
And Thanksgiving.
yeah,
You've been off forever.
I've been off for a while. So we got back and went and hit the public marsh, and we did very well, and got to finally try out the animators. And I was very impressed with the performance of the animators. The first day we used them ducks, dude. I'm not just saying this because we have a good relationship with the animator guys, but dude, they were just decoying hard. They were dumping all morning to those animators. And we had a great hide that morning too. We shot a 3-man, bunch of gadwall, and that was a great hunt. Went out to McFadden, shot quite a few more over the animators.
Well, that's what I talked to you. So me and Joe went down to Smith Point, hunted, and you, Tanner, Matt, everybody went down to
We were in Anahuac.
And he was like, how'd y'all do? Knowing that we were going to smash them just because just private land, we smashed them. But he's like, dude, they almost limited like a 4-man as fast as we did our 3-man on private with them being on public. And he's like, dude, and this is like a me and Mitchell conversation, like not trying to even plug the animator. He's like, dude, I think the animators had a lot to do with it. Said the birds were going dumb. Gadwall.
Well, the thing was that morning is we'd call at them like real high up. And once we got their attention, we'd stop calling, and they would just descend. And I don't know if it's those animators put off this sound. It sounds like ducks like jumping off the water. You know how them feet hit the water, slap. And you can hear it like once you start them, they're slapping that water. And I really think that sound has a lot to do with bringing the birds in.
I'm 100% convinced that sound after Sunday is what does it. And we'll get into that hunt and why I think that. But 100% is the sound, in my opinion.
And it 100% sounds like, if you
ducks.
pull up on a pond and ducks are getting up, that's what the animator sounds like. Ducks hitting the water, ducks getting up off the water. It creates that. You got the mojo going, and it's pumping that animator. And I've honestly never seen ducks decoy like they did on public land, like they did when we were running them animators. But we did have a great hide that morning. We were in layouts, but they were dumping in hard. It was badass.
Don't even know the animator's guy's name. I just know him because of y'all. And I will say that I am 100% convinced in the animator after Sunday.
I was pumped that Mitchell told me that Tuesday. So this was Tuesday. Me and Joe hunted with Carter, Mitch, Tanner, Matt hunted out in Anahuac. And we had a fantastic hunt. Mitchell and them had a fantastic hunt. We shot some canvasback pretty far from big water. So we were pumped up. We had a great hunt. We shot mallards, canvasback, pintail, teal. And then Mitch and them smashed on the gray duck, spoonbills, teal. Did y'all even kill a spoonbill? Was it gray ducks and teal?
It was all gray ducks and teal. And
okay.
I really
Very
don't
nice.
I don't like giving away a bunch of my secrets, man. That's one thing. I try to keep like my good secrets to myself, but the animators, man.
Well, look, animators, and then if you are hunting public land and have a pond to yourself, dude, the hide is
Oh, yeah. The hide's important.
so important. If number one, the bird's there. Two, hide from them. If you have layout blinds, if you can get covered up, that is what you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and this is going for like anybody that's trying to get into it new. Dude, spend $100, get you a cheap ass layout blind. You might get wet, a little bit wet, but if you want to shoot birds, get down, tuck grass around you, and
I really
hammer
didn't
'em.
put that much effort into the hide up until about 2 years ago. But that is the number one most important thing is the hide.
yeah.
Even on private, the
Yes.
hide is your most important part of the hunt.
Yeah. So that was Tuesday. Mitchell told me, he said the animators worked great. And then Wednesday, I went with you. They went out, had another pretty good hunt.
Yeah.
They had a lot more people. I don't know if y'all fully limited out.
No, we didn't fully limit, but there just wasn't a whole lot of birds out where we were hunting. But we still
shot-
decoyed some birds over the animators.
Y'all had a great hunt.
Yeah, we shot like 15 or 16 birds.
Yeah.
It was
Me
really
and-
good.
Me and Warhola in like 52 minutes shot 6 men.
That was epic.
Like,
Over ankle deep sheet water too. It was.
yeah, you're giving it ankle deep.
Yeah.
I could have wore fucking Crocs and not got wet.
Yeah,
It was
shallow.
To me, it was funny because like there was literal dirt clods in the middle of the pond, and the ducks wanted in there so bad. I was like, this might be the most shallow water I ever hunted.
It was to the point where we put the decoys out. We couldn't throw them. We had to like set them in the mud to make them sit up straight. Yeah.
Yeah, swear. Like,
Yeah, it was
that's
crazy.
not a like talking shit. It was like you're like trying to get the dude. If you looked out there, you'd see all the decoys is like the weight lanyard or whatever. Like
the mono was sticking up out of the water.
There's mono everywhere.
You didn't
Like where it
even,
had memory.
you didn't even need rigs. You could have probably just
You could absolutely
Guaranteed.
100%.
No, the every single decoy was hitting mud.
Yeah.
Like there was, like I'm saying, that much water, like 3 or 4 inches.
Yeah, it was so shallow.
We got there. I was like, this is, and I wasn't, doubting Warhola, but I was just like, this looks like dump. Like there's not a lot of water at all. Dude.
Yeah, and I can't even take credit for it. I mean, Breeden scouted it, but
Yeah.
I knew when we pulled in there on the Marsh Master and he shined the light on the ground and the amount of feathers that were in the water, I was like, oh, this is about to be nasty.
Yes. But it was just like if you just looked at it, just off a glance, you'd be like, this ain't the spot.
This is not it.
It was it. I'm talking about we just shooting ducks. Like, dude, I shot a duck and it landed on hard ground and got up and started walking.
Yeah.
Like, Like we're just like, I mark him. He's gonna walk over here.
You couldn't even use an animator if you wanted to.
No,
yeah,
you
not in that hole.
Yeah.
No, you wouldn't be able to. It would have been hitting mud.
Yeah.
But
they wanted to be there, so it didn't matter.
it didn't matter. We shot a 6-man in like 52 minutes. It was dumb. That was that little video I posted of breeding, throwing them on, and then Ryan messaged me Thursday saying, "You work tomorrow?" I was like, "Yep." And he's like, he's sending the group message, who can hunt, and that's you and Matt. Saturday, did y'all use the Animator Saturday?
No, we didn't. We didn't use them Saturday.
I bet you do wish you probably would have.
If we would have had them, I'm gonna tell you right now, because we were in the perfect Animator hole Saturday. It was still, wasn't a lot of wind. We were in high cane or high reed. It'd have been beautiful.
Yep. So Saturday we made a hunt, and it was one of those hunts where it started off pretty hot, and then it kind of just, it was steady, but you'd have small groups just slowly coming in, and then it kind of died off. And Ryan was like, "Man, what time y'all want to call it?" And we were like, "Oh, let's give it, another 45 minutes at least." Dude,
I was thinking about the cold beer in the truck.
It was probably 25, 30 minutes later. Here they come.
What was it? 4 Gadwall come in.
The 4 Gadwall started out, and then the big packs of teal started decoying.
Yeah, we had 30 and 40 packs of teal. I mean, just doing it dirty in the decoys.
Yeah, we were done after those 2 groups.
Yeah.
And we shot a 4-man. Good variety pack. We had some pintail.
Started off with pintail.
Yeah, started off with pintail.
Did y'all shoot a spoonie or not?
We did. We did. We got to shoot spoonbills.
I know. Dude. Well, we'll finish our conversation, but to this day, one of my favorite hunts is a straight spoonbill spash.
Yeah.
Don't shoot nothing but spoonbills.
I mean, even Wednesday, they were like, we could shoot better than these spoonbills. Like, they're in the decoys. Let's shoot them.
Yeah.
We're dying. We're killing spoonbills.
That was also a pretty special hunt because Ryan just acquired a dog, and that was Hank's first hunt.
Hank
was Saturday, and he did pretty damn good for being his first duck hunt.
Yeah, he had some puppy problems, but he's a puppy. It was his first duck hunt. So
I'm glad to hear that. Like, because Ryan has been very adamant to me. Like, we talk a lot, and he's just like, I don't want no fucking dog. I don't want to deal with that shit.
Yeah.
And then after the first hunt, he goes, I'm not mad at it.
Well, and backtrack. The reason I say that is because I had probably one of the most special dogs to ever come out of this area with Rio. And, I mean, he's like, his picture's on the wall at Pipkin Ranch.
Oh, I know.
I mean, he was one of the, called him Rio Matic. Everybody, if you say Rio, you can talk to anybody who's a duck hunter in this area, and they know my dog.
Yeah. No,
and when he died, I was like, fuck duck hunting, fuck all this. I'm done guiding. I'm done duck hunting. I don't care anymore because I didn't have my dog. Had him for 10 years. And then I slowly get back into duck hunting. I've always loved duck hunting. I guided for 16, 17, 18, 20 years. I don't know, a long time. And I fell out of love with it when Rio died. Like, he died unexpectedly. It was just one of those deals. And I was like, you know what? I'm done. Done with it. And then this year we got on the Pipkin deal. And, I grew up hunting Pipkin. I was one of the first guides on Pipkin. Now I'm going to put in quotations a customer of Pipkin.
Yeah.
Through our company. Even though I have a guide that goes hunting with me, but I think it's just because of legality reasons, because I'm not on the payroll there. But so I got back into it and started duck hunting a little bit more. And then now that Hank's came around Saturday, I was like, man, okay, I kind of remember why I like this shit. Yeah. And then Sunday, it was done deal. Today, I spent more fucking money on decoys and shit and dog stuff and everything else. I'm like, all right, I'm back.
I love it because I've known you now for quite a while, and we've always fished together. We've hunted together, but duck hunting is the thing that me and you haven't done a lot of together. We hunt once or twice a year because you've always had maybe a pond here in Winnie or whatever. But this year, I've really enjoyed being able to be, grateful to get to go hunt with you. Yeah. But you're into it though.
Yeah. No.
The other times was I
never even broke my calls out, and I was just there.
We might shoot a couple birds, and I'm happy with me personally. I don't care if I limit. I just want to drive up on a buggy.
Yeah.
I'm not one of those, like, those people will talk shit on me because they're like, oh, you're not hard. You're not going out at public at midnight. It's like, I don't have to.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to take a fucking truck to my blind. Someone's going to park it, and I'm going to shoot.
And we all cut our teeth on public. Every one of us hunted public at one point.
We hunted public for years. 10 years.
Yep. I hunted public when public wasn't cool. And that is a legit statement.
Yeah.
Because I can remember going on a Saturday and only being 2 boats in the whole entire unit.
It's insane. Like you were doing it before us.
I was duck hunting before duck hunting was cool. Basically.
Like when we started in high school, like when we got our licenses and hunted, there was nobody doing it.
Yeah.
Like I'm saying, like there would be like 8 people in the marsh, you know, and most of them were older, like, you know, like 20-year-olds, like probably people your age that were hunting. And then there was like us, we were the only 16-year-olds doing it at the time. So like, that's when we were doing it back when it was fun. Then it just, as I got older, the hunting got more popularized and the kids got younger. And I was like, I can't compete.
I'll tell you this, man. And me and Tanner, went out there on, I don't remember what day it was, a week ago. And we woke up, we left the house at like 2 o'clock or 1:30, pretty early, you know. And we're out there, launched the boat. It was already crowded when we got there, of course, you know. Leaving at the house at 1:30 in the morning, fucking crazy. But get out on the levee, you know, there's several boats. We're perched up. And, dude, these kids, man, and I'm sure, I don't know if we were the same way, but I'm older now and I'm looking at these kids. Dude, it's all a big competition now.
It's a dick swinging contest.
It's a fucking dick swinging contest. Like, you got to have the fastest boat. You got to have the nicest shit. No, fuck all that, dude. Like, just be respectful to everybody and play by the rules. They don't do that shit no more. It's just a fucking race. It's all a big competition.
Dude,
whatever. It's fine.
I will say this. The one thing that we have been true since before even the Bayou Dragons, we have never had the nicest shit. And we still don't have the nicest shit.
Fuck no.
We don't even have a kill switch on our boat. Like, dude, I'm telling you right now, since we started duck hunting in the marsh, we've had the slowest boat.
Oh, yeah.
And we still have the slowest boat.
But she'll crank and
dude,
she'll run.
We ran the Mariner. We ran my little 20-horse outboard motor for years. Like 4 or 5 of us in the boat. And it's going like 5 miles per hour. And we're just happy we're getting out there. So and now we're like going like 23 miles per hour, and we're happy we're getting there because people are going 50.
It's crazy.
It's like, what the fuck is happening?
I started duck hunting Anahuac, Mud Bayou, all that with a 15-horse 1979 Chrysler my dad bought me.
Hell yeah.
That was and it was white. I literally rattle can painted it after the first season because I was tired of having to carry something. Well, back then we didn't have Texas rigs, so I had a decoy bag. Well, when Texas rigs came around, I was like, well, I don't have a decoy bag anymore, so I guess I got to paint the son of a bitch because I would put a decoy bag over top of it when I hunted.
Dude, remember the decoy bags?
Yeah.
Dude, that used to be the thing.
I remember the only 2 brand of decoys. The only 2 brand of decoys were Carry Light and Flambeau. That was it. There was nothing else. And then I remember when the first spinning wing decoy came out and it was a Flambeau made it. And I bought 2 of them. And I want to say I paid like $100 each for them. And I literally was like counting pennies to buy these things and put them out in the marsh. And oh my God, it was unbelievable what the ducks would do to them. I mean, it was unbelievable. Like you could just put them out there and kill ducks because none of them saw it down here at that time.
And you still see that. You see like, to me, what is awesome is like our early days of hunting, like how stupid the ducks seemed, like to like a mojo and shit. When you go up north, you get that because you get these young birds that haven't seen shit. So like you throw you can literally throw 2 mojos out in a cornfield, and every mallard in fucking 10 square miles is going to land in there. And it's like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Because you can't get a fucking teal to work on a mojo down at south. You know, you're shooting them flying by. So it brings out the youth hunting up north when you come down here, and it's like, we've had it rough.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, we hunt the most educated birds in the country, no doubt, bar none.
And I used to not, like, until I've experienced it, I was like, I'm not going to sit here and talk. Dude, if you hunt North Dakota, Montana, Canada, New York, Washington, any of those states, I'll even give South Dakota. Dude, y'all have it so fucking easy.
Oh, my God.
You get down here, you cannot get a bird to decoy.
Yeah, and we can say that because we've hunted up there for several years now.
I have now done it for years.
It's night and day, man.
I remember the first time I hunted a river in Montana. A buddy of mine's like, hey, I got a river blind. I already shot my mule deer. He's like, let's go duck hunting. Because I want to go duck hunting. So, okay. I had my duck calls in the truck because I was a hardcore duck hunter at the time. They stayed in my truck.
Yeah.
So we get out to the blind, and he's like, man, there's a lot of mallards here. I haven't been able to kill them. I'd really like you just call. I want you to do what you do like back home. And this is the first time I hunted northern birds. It was ridiculous. I would hit them with a hell call and just like rah, 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 and the whole 30 pack would just go.
Yeah.
And come, and it was
That's
like
somebody.
And then I started feed chuckling. It was just like, oh, here we come. We're gonna die.
Oh, I'm coming.
I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
You know, and it's unreal how easy it is up there.
It really is. You can get birds. Like we'd have, like one of our hunts we had up north this year was not that afternoon mallard hunt we had wasn't great. We shot like 5 birds.
Yeah.
We had a good time. We're sitting there just fucking off. But every bird that did fly by, like we hit the wrong spot. They weren't leaving the roost there. The day before, I swear to you, I saw 1,500 birds flying over this field. They just didn't fly over that way that day. We had a couple of mallards, but you just hit them. Literally, there'd be a solo mallard flying, something you might not call at home. You just go, eh. Who wants them? Like, ridiculous how easy it is up there. If you can get the birds, you can get the access, and if you can, I mean, you still have to find them. You need to figure all that out. But the calling, the decoys, everything about the aspect of hunting up north is so much easier.
I feel like up north, you just got to get their attention. You know, once you get their attention, they see you.
It's over. Yeah,
it's done deal.
For sure.
I will say though, down here, I'm pretty damn excited for the second split. I think we're gonna shoot a bunch more birds. I mean, just seeing the population in Southeast Texas right now, public and private, it's been top notch. It's been high population of birds, bunch of teal, bunch of gadwall, bunch of pintail. Just seen a bunch of birds down here.
It's insane how many pintail are down. Like, so it's insane to me how many pintail are down and how many teal are still here.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
we shot full moon blue wings both days.
I know. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, usually, I'm just saying in the past, usually like those giant groups of pintails that, like, I saw twice last week. Like, I'm also not shooting a full plumage fucking blue wing and then a fucking pintail. Like, that's not the deal. Like,
and there is a lot of winter mallards down, and for people up north, winter mallard for us because we have mottled ducks, and we call them winter mallards, greenheads, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of those down already. And you usually don't see them until the second split. We killed some. We killed one. We killed Wednesday. We killed one Saturday. I killed a greenhead the week before.
Yeah.
You don't see that this time of year.
No, I saw some with Joe on Tuesday. Yeah. We're sitting there. Yeah. You'd see solo. Now, in the nosebleeds, we'd call at it, and it'd be like, nah, I'm going to fresh water. We're hunting a little brackish pond. But it was like, greenhead.
Yeah.
There's a greenhead. Yeah. Dude, what's funny to me is the wood ducks in the marsh this year.
Crazy, isn't it?
Dude, on Wednesday when I hung with Warhola Mitch, I promise you we saw close to 30 wood ducks.
Yeah.
It used to surprise me, but after, I don't know, it was 2 or 3 years ago, we started shooting them out in the marsh. Like, what the hell are these wood ducks doing out in the marsh, you know?
But, no, I get 1 or 2, but I'm saying, like, we're having like 12 packs of wood ducks flying by. It's like, where are you living?
That's odd. That is odd.
Yeah.
Where are you living?
Big wads, like big wads. We had like one group of like 30 come by, and I was like I thought they were widgeon, you know, because they got that same kind of look.
Yeah.
And then I started hitting them, and I was like, what?
It's like, what the fuck are they doing here? Yeah. A 30 pack of wood ducks away from the nearest trees, like 8 miles.
forever away. Yeah,
like, and I'm
crazy.
talking a tallow tree. They're not landing in that.
Yeah.
About Southeast Texas, man, you can shoot the most beautiful waterfowl right here in Southeast Texas. You got your wood ducks, pintail, the occasional greenhead, and I mean, we got some pretty birds.
You got the biggest variety you can imagine. I mean, just look at our hunts Wednesday with you, Saturday, Sunday. I mean, we shot very good variety.
I've shot everything here, and I know people that have shot other birds. I've seen almost every single other bird shot here, but like the only things I haven't shot besides like those eastern like deep divers is like the cinnamon teal and the old squaw, the long-tailed duck, which I know people that killed them and got them mounted here.
Didn't we see? Was it Wednesday we saw the cinnamon? No. It wasn't it John. One of the days this weekend, John said he saw cinnamon when we were working birds.
He might have. They might
I
have.
wonder why they don't come this way.
It's just not there.
You get them every once in a while. I mean,
Joe shot one. Joe has a mounted teal.
Yeah,
he shot in Texas, but
it's
just not their flight pattern.
I've never even seen one.
Just like them scoters and shit like that. That you have your eastern and western birds, but in general, we have the central flyway. And what's great is like they start like this and they come all peninsula right where we're at.
So Wednesday we shot mallards,
spoonbill, teal, pintail,
widgeon,
gadwall. I think we killed a scop.
Yeah. Both teal, green and blue wing.
Yeah.
What else did we shoot? Spoonbills.
I think I said spoonbill, but
did you? Yeah.
I think we shot seven
different species.
Seven different species.
And then Saturday we shot pintail, mallards, mottled ducks.
Oh no, we shot a mottled duck too that day.
We did, yeah.
But that's like with Joe and them. We shot canvas back. Like you can shoot your canvas backs, you can shoot your buffalo heads, you can shoot all that shit around here too. And y'all shot a snow goose.
Yeah, we shot snow geese.
We shot speckled bellies.
Yeah.
You get almost everything except like Egyptian geese.
Yeah.
Like you get a damn good variety.
Yeah, you get a great variety.
That's what I love about hunting down here. You never really know what you're going to shoot that day. Like, I mean, it could be really whatever because we hold a bunch of different species in this area. It's pretty cool.
I definitely think that if anyone was going to hunt, like if you're like a true duck hunter, which I know like people like Ramsey and all those guys, like you see them make their track every year around here and hunt like just to shoot like those random ducks. But like if you hunt a central flyway zone, like early season, like hunt Kansas or somewhere like that, go hunt the, was that Cheyenne River bottoms? Dude, I guarantee you hunt the Cheyenne River bottoms in September, October, you're going to shoot every species of bird that there is.
They just end up here.
They just end up here. Yeah. They all peninsulate right here because we have the biggest like rice farming, everything.
All the refuges, everything.
All that marsh.
And I'm talking everything.
Our bays, too. Our bays are very popular for birds.
We have 1 minute. Yeah. You have everything, but I'm really like, I'm saying everything from like almost like Idaho to almost New York kind of funnels right down to Texas.
Yep.
So like you have I'm talking your very eastern, like your Maine down to Florida and your Washington down to California. Like you have those scoters and shit that we don't get, like we'll never get. But everything in between all funnels right down to us.
Yep.
So like you just know at the beginning of the year, you're shooting usually, we have the best teal season that ever. There's no one. Yeah. There's no one having teal season like Texas. And then after that, it's like your gadwall, your spoonbills, your bread and butter, and then it gets to, you might shoot mallards. You're going to shoot your gray ducks. You're going to shoot this. You're going to shoot that. Like besides scoters and shit like that, like the eastern and western, I don't even know the names of them. We got everything.
Absolutely.
But yeah, dude, the variety of ducks that we get in Southeast Texas, dumb. Like this is the biggest variety. Like if you look at Ducks Unlimited, like their website, and you look at what's the most popularized duck or the most sought after duck, it's the spoonbill.
Oh.
And I'm being dead serious. Like it's so funny. Like me and Rance looked that up. I was like, because we were talking about it one day, and I was like, it's probably like, the pintail. I know it's not the mallard. That's like the most predominant. But I was like, it's probably like the spoon, or no, the pintail, or I might have said like canvasback or redhead or something, just being ignorant. Spoonbill. Like a fully plumaged Drake spoonbill is like the most sought after fucking waterfowl duck, because they traveled this line up and down, and they come right through us. And by the time they get to us, they're green headed,
I mean, what did I say Wednesday when we were hunting? I said this would be a great hunt, but we ain't killed a spoonbill yet.
And then we did after that.
We did.
You shot one with a 28 gauge.
Oh, I shoot everything. I shoot everything with 28 gauge.
I know, but you soloed a single spoonbill came through. It acted like it was about to decoy. Picked up about 5 foot above the decoy. Starts swinging out towards Ryan's side, and he goes, pop. One shot, folded, and I was like,
the 28 gauge is the way, the truth, and the light. I love that little gun, and I won't shoot anything else from here on out.
I've always been what I felt like the quickest in the group. Like if a solo came in, I've always fucking been the fastest one to get up and shoot it. Dude, the other day, fucking green wing Drake comes floating in the decoys, and I'm about to, all right, yeah, that's mine. Dude, I couldn't even shoulder my shotgun, and he had already folded that bird with that 28 gauge.
28 gauge, and we're shooting 12s.
It was, yeah, but dude, like how fast, boom, like it was like that. I was like, holy shit.
No, as soon as Ryan, which I guess like the day y'all hunted was a little bit different than like the day we hunted, because we hunted with breeding, so we let him make the calls. But if Ryan's making the calls, I don't even want to even compete. Yeah. If Ryan's calling the shot, it's like, I'll just wait for stragglers. Because if Ryan's making the call, he's already on it.
No, it's quick with that 28 gauge, and I picked that gun up, dude. It's like
stupid light.
It's like
this mic's heavier.
Yeah, it's super light, and I don't know, makes me want to buy one. Honestly,
it was a little bit of a learning curve, but now that I figured it out, I do not want to shoot anything else, because it is just it kills them dead. I mean,
Well, anything that you're going to shoot at them and you hit will shoot them dead. But like, I'm going to have to, like, I do want to get to where I'm shooting a 20 gauge and I'm seeing consistently shooting my limit of birds. Like, I want to get to that, and then I'll work my way to a 28. So I'm not going to lie to anybody. Like, I'm shooting a 12 gauge and I need every inch of that 12 gauge.
No doubt.
And I'm going to shoot my birds, and Ryan saw me this last Wednesday. I shot a couple of fucking, and I'm shooting like one shot. So, modified one shot. So I'm shooting a fucking pretty tight shit, but I couldn't grab that 28 gauge, what you're shooting, and then hit every bird that you were, because you never took a second shot if there wasn't more than one bird.
Yeah.
It was just one bird. Dude. Followed. I was like,
yeah, and I was telling Ryan, and I was telling y'all, like, I put that fucking pattern master in my shotgun, and I've been shooting a modified forever, and I put that pattern master in, and I was not hitting shit. So I put the modified back in, and I start folding them again. So I'm going to put out 2 sheets of paper or something and pattern that fucking choke and see what the hell's going on, because I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm aiming high, aiming low. I don't know, but I got to figure that out, because I really want to get the range with that pattern master. But
you're also shooting, though, a lot. Like,
I'm shooting 2-shot.
We're shooting like everything we've shot this year. Like we bought all our shells this year based around hunting up north.
Yeah,
we're shooting Canada geese. So anything I shoot can kill a Canada goose all the way down to a teal. Now, do I want to hit a teal in the breast with what I'm shooting? No, because it will fucking blow it up. But if I hit a teal, it's dead.
Yeah.
If I hit a Canada goose, it's dead. So
I'm shooting 3.5 stacked out of that 28 gauge. And it's been very, very good.
But like the other day that we hunted, I could have hit a standard choke with a fucking
you could have shot a cylinder with an 8-shot dove load and killed them. But that's the deal. Like, when you're marsh tooling and you're where they want to be, you could kill them with a 410.
Yeah.
I mean, Wednesday, our furthest shot was 20 yards, maybe. Now, they'd get a little further when they're flaring out, but, I mean, it's stupid.
on Tuesday, it was pretty chill. Remember, y'all were hunting out in the marsh, Mitch. And I was surprised Tuesday. I was sitting there. That's your second time, Ryan.
I know. What the hell?
You need to drink more of it, I guess.
Yes.
God damn. Dude, Tuesday, I was sitting there. We're in pit blinds, and I'm like sitting on the top of the pit blind with my feet down. And I just randomly kept feeling something roll across my foot. I looked down. There's like a 2-foot water snake just kept rolling around my foot. And I was like, why are you out here? It was like 40 degrees. So like, and we're hunting with our buddy Joe's father-in-law, Carter. So like, I'm not trying to like distract him. Like he's on a mission. Everything he does, he's on a mission. And I respect that, whatever. But like, I'm sitting here for like 2 volleys of birds. I ended up shooting a volley of birds holding a water snake in my hand because I just wanted him to see, like, I wanted him to make sure he saw me throw this water snake over. And I'm like, I'm holding this water snake, shoot some birds. I'm like, and then I just go, where'd this come from? You know? Carter's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
It's like, threw him in the water. I was like, he's probably dead now.
Yeah.
Like, that's way too cold. He was probably in that pit blind fucking warm as shit. But I was like, it was weird on that Tuesday morning. That thing was just all over the place. But enough about duck hunting. So, Ryan.
Yes, sir.
You're, I know lately, you started, when I first met you, me and you really trout fish, redfish. You introduced me. You're the one that introduced me to offshore fishing and been doing that. But now you've picked up the bass fishing. We've talked about it on last podcast or previous podcast. But your son now is addicted to bass fishing.
100%.
Everything from bass fishing to online bass fishing on the PlayStation or whatever the fuck.
When he watches YouTube, most kids are watching Blippi. He's watching Bassmaster Classic 1984.
Yeah.
You know, like I walked in the other day and he's watching Kevin Van Dam just rip him. I'm like, hell yeah.
Dude, I love that. And now, what's great, like, me and you are tighter than fish pussy, but now that you're bass fishing, it's like, gang. And now you got you a bass boat.
Yep.
Got you a good skeeter.
Mm-hmm.
With everything on it.
Everything.
It's decked out, and you've been bringing your son out bass fishing.
Been bringing him. Been sneaking off on myself and learning my forward-facing sonar. And
dude, how fun is that?
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. It's a huge learning curve, but a lot of fun. And, you know, right now I'm basing my trips on not numbers, just learning. Just catching a fish and learning, you know, okay, this is the offshore game. This is the back of the creek game. You know, just learning bass fishing.
Look, and I'll say this. If you can fish, you can fish.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't grow up red fishing or trout fishing, but if I go with Warhola, Doug Morrison, anybody like that, I can catch a trout or a red. Mm-hmm. I grew up bass fishing. If you can fish, you can fish.
Yeah.
But reading, like, and I'm going to give this to you, and don't ask me to suck your wiener later. Like you're one of the best on the Texas coast at like reading sonar and finding wahoo.
Yeah.
Like there's Robert who can read a fucking map and see a marlin. You know what marlin look like, but you know what wahoo look like. Mm-hmm. You can find wahoo. You can fucking pinpoint them. You can catch them. You're fantastic at them. So going from something this big, you know, going to, you know, a 20-inch bass or a 18-inch bass on a stump, I know that's a lot different. It is. Especially from, okay, that's 12 foot deep. Yeah. That's 1,200 foot deep.
Yeah. It's been a fun challenge, and I challenge myself every time I go out and try to, okay, today, I know this is time of the year. This is what they should be keyed on. This is what they should be biting on. And if I catch my 5, I feel pretty good about the day. And the whole thing is I'm acting like I'm fishing a tournament every time, because after fishing the 2 men with y'all, I had a fucking blast fishing with Mitchell.
We had some good times.
Yeah,
man.
And now I'm like, okay, this is what I want to do, because I can bass fish 365. I can't offshore fish 365.
Yeah,
I can't even inshore fish 365. but I can go bass fishing 365 if I want to.
You can find them. Now, that is the one thing why I, like, just me personally, why bass fishing is so hard. You can find them 20 days in a row. Say you can find them 20 days in a row on a Carolina rig at fucking 27 foot. That 28th day, the tournament day comes, they won't be there.
No. And you got to go back and figure it out. You
have to figure it out. They might be deeper.
Yep.
They might buy a crankbait. They might have moved up just because of different water pressure or it's a lot harder to me from what I've figured out over the years of, like, I'm confident I can get in a boat. I can go catch a redfish, a trout, a bass. I mean, I have more confidence in going out and catch a bass, but I guarantee I can probably go catch a redfish or a trout. Yeah. And I could use a fucking dead shrimp. Throw a dead shrimp in the lake.
Yeah.
You're going to catch a catfish.
Exactly.
Like, that's
It's very humbling. It's just so much fun.
It is.
And there's so many different ways to catch them and so many different terminologies. And like, I was watching Gerald Swindell motivational speech about being a junk fisherman. I had to Google what a junk fisherman was. You know what a junk fisherman is? It's a guy who has 6 different baits on the deck, and he fishes with all 6 of them all day long. And when he needs a bite, he goes from bait to bait to bait till he finds one.
Oh, so basically like Andrew Upshaw.
Yeah.
Like he has 15 different baits. So anyone that's pro, really.
Yeah, but it's like, you got those guys who niche on offshore fishing when it comes to bass fishing. You got guys that like to fish points, or there's guys like Carolina or whatever. Gerald Swindell's like, I'm just going to go out there and I'm going to figure out a way to catch 5 fish. And I'm going to cut a freaking check because they pay from 1st to 50.
Yeah.
As long as I'm in that range, I'm getting a check.
Yeah. I might get a $4,000 check. I might get a $40,000
Yeah, and
check.
he's like, I'm the first person that ever made $1 million bass fishing, and I ain't never won a tournament in my life. It's like, damn, gang, buddy, I like that,
Yeah. Dude, I just, the people, our listeners, won't realize how much, like how excited it makes me that you bass fish, because the 2 people that got me saltwater fishing with you and Doug Morrison, and the 2 people that talked the most shit on me for bass fishing were you and Doug Morrison.
Yeah.
And now that you're doing it, you understand, you have fun. You still do both of them.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Like, hands down, and I'm ready to do some wahoo fishing this winter with you. But I wish Doug would go out and get a fucking bass bite and be like...
Yeah. And I had like even Brandon Perthowis, chase this guy. I used to make fun of him all the time. Like, dude, what are you doing messing with those green fish? That's stupid.
But he was one of the first ones that fucked with me. Yeah. Like, when I went trout, it was actually me, him, and Doug went fishing, wade fishing, like the Trinity.
Yeah.
And he was like, and we're ripping fish. And he goes, "You do this a lot?" I said, "Nope, I bass fish." He goes, "Dude, that's the gayest shit ever." I was just like, all right.
It's funny too, because his son is the reason he got so involved in it, and now my son is the reason I'm so involved in it. Now, like, I'm more obsessive with than my kid.
Yeah, you bought a fucking insane bass boat. I'm not going to say the price, but you bought an insane bass boat.
Yeah, well, I traded in a very nice redfish boat.
You did, and I respected the shit out of that. You're like, I'm trading in the Was it the Blazer Bay?
The Blazer Bay.
Yeah, you're like, I'm trading the Blazer Bay for the Skeeter. I was like, fuck yeah. Like, that got me rocked up.
Yeah.
But I love that you did that. Like,
well, and I'm super excited too, because you can only wahoo fish so much during January, February, March.
Living where we live.
When it's blowing and I ain't got shit else to do, I'm going to be at the lake. I'm going to be at the lake. Because I can find a place to fish.
You can get in a cove.
Yep.
If they're shallow, if they're deep, you can find them. Mm-hmm. They will be there.
Yeah, they're just, somewhere.
You just have to have patience. You have to know how to, throw whatever rig you're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if I was going to talk to like a new beginner, look, learn how to throw a crankbait.
Yeah.
I know guys personally that make a living off of fishing, and all they do is throw a crankbait, and just learn how to throw one from shallow, 6-inch, and then just throw one at 28 foot, and just all you do is reel. Just learn the difference between hitting a piece of grass to getting a bite of fish. But it's it's easy, but it's also hard. And I'm glad, like, to me, it's awesome that you picked it up and you've been messaging me, like, you've been sending me photos of your bass boat and all this shit. I'm like, I love this because you were the epitome of saltwater fisherman.
Yeah, I was. Like, I mean, that's all I grew up doing. My extent of my bass fishing was in a pond, on the golf course or somewhere, stock pond, whatever. And then I used to go to Toledo, and like even when we fished 2 Moon, I said I have been here in 20 freaking years. When I was a kid, we used to go up here because my best friends in high school or in school, not even high school, grandma owned a lake house on Toledo, and we'd go up and we'd catch bluegill off the pier and catfish and catch a bass. We caught a freaking bass at the lake. We thought we were like the shit.
Yeah,
you know.
And then you fished the old 2 Moon, got you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
we had some good, some pretty cool moments at the 2 Moon, man.
I love that what's great is like, this ain't me talking trash. Like Mitchell started like fishing with me, bass fishing with me. So
Porter's the reason I got into bass fishing. So I started going up to the lake house and had a blast doing it, and that's the reason I bass fish right now.
I showed him my way of fishing, which is mostly like Texas rig, crankbait, wacky worm. Yeah, that's like my 3 dominant. Like if I have 3 rods on the deck, that's what those 3 rods are going to be. But then he fished with you, who you're throwing Carolina rig, top water, and like frog or something like that. Something that I fish, but not going to be in my repertoire.
It wasn't because I knew what I was doing. It was because we pulled up. We practiced one afternoon for like 3 hours maybe.
Yeah,
and we caught some fish. We caught some fish on a wacky worm, and we get to the spot the next morning. We're like, we're just gonna go back where we caught fish. And our whole goal was we wanted 5 fish in the live well. That's it.
That's your first. That is anyone. That is any tournament person ever on earth. If you're fishing for $1 million, if you're fishing for $100, catch your 5 fish.
And we talked about it. We're like, if we can get 5 fish, it's a fucking win for us. Because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm fishing in a bay boat that I tournament redfish out of.
A 24-foot
bay boat
with a 350, 400
racing Mercury on the back of it.
No, dude, I did enjoy. You backed me in, and I drove your boat around, and my Uncle Mark goes, "What the fuck are you driving?" And I was like, "That Blazer Bay down there?" He goes, "What is that on the back?" I said, "Oh, it's a fucking racing 400 on it."
Yeah, and the reason I had that motor is because I used to fish tournament redfish, and we used to run a long ways, and speed was the winner. If you got the spot first, the quicker you got that, the more time you had to fish. But anyways, we were like, well, we catch 5, it's a win. And it is in my mind the whole time is like, if we catch 5 fish, I'm going to feel really good about this whole situation. And we ended up, we had 5 fish in a live well in the first 40 minutes?
Fucking Warhola had, throwing that top water, had 3 keepers in the first 10 minutes, like back to back to back.
So we pull in there and we fish the afternoon, and obviously I don't know shit about the shad spawn, but apparently it happens in the morning and at night. And we pulled in there and there were shad. It sounded like it was raining.
Yes.
And I'm sitting there looking at this and I'm like, fucking top water would probably crush.
Yes.
Probably crush. So I tied on just a white bone, 1 knocker spook, which I fish for trout and redfish every fucking time I go, and throw it out there, and literally had a blow up on the first cast. I missed it, threw out there on the second cast, and caught like a 2.5 pounder. And I was like, holy shit. Next cast, caught another one. Next cast, caught another one. I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah,
we got something going on.
Bang, bang.
Look, all fish, they're not the same, but they all have the same instincts. And that's, like, the most fish I ever caught with Doug was, like, it was like a March or April. I was wade fishing with them. I was like, I'm going to throw this silver rattle trap that I would throw at home.
Yeah.
Like at this time, like it was like kind of cold. I was wearing like insulated waders, and I was ripping the same amount of fish as he was throwing a fucking, like they all kind of work the same. They just bite different. Yeah. The different structures, different.
And so I think we caught our 5 quick the first day.
Yeah, we were done pretty early that morning.
Pretty done. And we were just like looking to upgrade. We didn't upgrade. Day 2, we came in there and we caught 1 on top water, maybe 2.
Yeah, the bite was completely different the second day.
But in my mind, I was like, okay, they're keying on shad. Those shad didn't go anywhere. They just sucked off of whatever structure. They sucked off the bank because they're not spawning. So they got to be on this point. We pulled up to this point, which we smoked them on the day before on top water. And
it also rained the day before.
It did. It rained. We had a pressure change. So I started throwing a rattle trap. Well, I caught 1 on a rattle trap. And then we had 2 fish in the live well, and it was like, okay, we might suck today. And then we started throwing a Carolina rig. I don't even know why we even started throwing it.
You had a bunch of...
because of you, probably.
Yeah. He was like, let's throw Carolinas. And then he started ripping them on Carolinas. I was like, fuck, I'll tie them on too. I started catching them.
And then we made a big run. It didn't pay off. We came back, and we still had 2 fish in the live well. It was like 12:30. And weigh-in was at 3?
3 o'clock.
And between 12:30 and 3 o'clock, we caught...
enough.
3 more, and then we actually cold one. Because we caught that big one right at the very, very end.
We all ended up
by the camp.
Yeah, right by the camp.
Y'all ended up 4th overall.
Yeah.
Because we got 3rd.
Yeah.
And
we did second place day 2.
Y'all did.
Yeah.
Like, y'all beat us on day 2. Like, because day 2, me and Rance had the bullshit. We went down to where...
Y'all fucking motor broke, didn't there? So what happened?
No, we...
blew a trailer tire. Yeah, that's right.
No, so...
Oh, is that after?
No, we blew a trailer tire, got our fucking boat launched, and then our fish where we were, it was quick. We knew the fish weren't there. And we weren't fishing like a different depth or nothing like that. Like, it was the first day we caught fish in 4.5 foot. It's 4.5 foot for a mile. We're on a flat. It was like, the fish aren't here. We got to move. Like, totally. We're heading back. I'm sitting on the front of the boat. I'm restringing shit because we're about to change up the way we're fishing. Sun is behind me. Whole lot of shit. Rance rails into a fucking pole. Breaks our trolling motor on the boat that we're in. Snaps the head in half. And I was like, wow. Okay, so we can't fish out of this boat. So, like, we had to take the boat out, go all the way back to Polygotch, park the boat, grab his boat, launch his boat, and then just went in the back, the farthest back. I was like, we're just like, we need to go somewhere we haven't been. Like, let's go new ground and let's literally just pre-fish. That's when you usually do the best. So we just pre-fished the back of Polygotch and ended up clutching the 3rd place with, like, we didn't beat y'all day 2, but we had enough to keep our 3rd place position. Yeah. But it was like new. Everything was new. I was like, I'm like, okay, I'm going to restring this. I'm restringing this. I was restringing every rod as we're driving. He's driving Dan the van, and I'm just restringing shit. I'm like, fuck, I do not know what to do.
It's funny how it changes, though. Like, for us, we got done with day 1, and we were like, okay, we got a plan. We've got it figured out. We restrung everything. We set everything up. We were like, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to throw tops, and then when the tops quit, we're going to move to this, and then we're going to go to this. And then day 2 came along, and nothing worked. Nothing fucking worked like we thought it was.
No. Dude, it's insane that, like, the same color won't even work, you know? But we also went from, like, me and Rance went from fishing deeper, clear water to, like, we just went to the shallowest, muddy water we could and caught fish. I was like,
yeah,
this is, like, I'm throwing worms and they're sitting on top of the water because it's just yoo-hoo milk.
Mm-hmm.
Like, fucking.
Just floating, yeah.
But I guess this whole conversation we just did, I just love that you're into it now.
Yeah.
So it makes me fucking amped.
Yeah, I'm loving every second of it, man. I spend more time in my boat organizing a boat that's already organized than anything.
Yeah, you sound like Andrew Upshaw.
Yeah.
Every time I see Andrew, he's over there, which we will have him on the podcast sometime this year. We're going to have Andrew on. I just want to pick his brain about, being professional. I want to go from everything from high school fishing to college fishing.
Yeah.
But, like, every time I see him, he is almost restringing a rod.
Yeah.
And I'm like, when's your next tournament? And it won't even be 3 weeks away. I think he has, like, an epitome.
Yeah.
And he changes a lure.
I'm going to tell you something, though, that So me coming from the saltwater scene to the bass scene, I rig my rods a little bit different than I've seen every other bass angler. I don't know if it's a good thing or if it's a bad thing yet, but so far it's been working for me. And I only have one rod that actually has fluorocarbon completely spooled on. Everything else I have is braid with a double uni and a cup like 10, 12 feet of fluorocarbon. And so far,
I mean,
it's been great.
I've only fished one tournament with you, and you almost won it. So I can't say, like, I don't fish like that, but also can't say it doesn't work.
Yeah, I mean, so far I've had success with it, and
I think the main
works
thing
for me. So
I think the main thing is, though, regardless if you're throwing fluorocarbon or if you're throwing fucking just straight up mono or braid or whatever, if you're on the fish, you're on the fish.
Yeah.
If you know how to set the hook,
mm-hmm.
work the certain bait you're working, you can catch fish.
Yeah,
that's all I can ever tell. Like, because we get questions throughout the year. Like, we get right now, it's questions about duck hunting or where I answered a guy today. He said, "Hey, where around Beaumont can I duck hunt?" I was like, "Go to Anahuac.
Yeah,
Hunt pace track.
Yep.
Like
7 days a week.
7 days a week. You can hunt it after the split. Go and hunt it.
Yep.
Like that's it's
It'll
clutch.
be good. It'll be good.
It'll be good.
The opener anyway.
Yeah, I was like, go hunt it. I can't remember the dude's name, but people are like, what would you throw during this? I'm like, I'll just tell you what I'm throwing.
Yeah,
It's not the same lake, it's not the same temperature, but
just I think that's the fun thing about bass fishing too. Is we can all three go bass fishing in 3 separate boats and do 3 separate techniques and all still catch fish.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
And it's what technique's better for the person throwing that technique.
Like I'm saying, like I didn't throw anything but a wacky worm this past year, and y'all threw Carolina rigs, and I was fishing 4 foot of water. Y'all are fishing 12 foot of water.
Yeah,
like it's
So the one technique that I've completely foreign to me, not even a saltwater technique, is the drop shot, and I freaking love it on a spinning rod. Like it is. If I need a bite, I'm pulling out that spinning rod and I'm throwing the drop shot.
That is something I might need to do it with the spinner rod. I've fished drop shot before. I've caught fish on drop shot, but it's not like that's like number 4 or 5 on my list on comfortability.
And me being a saltwater guy, I've always had a spinning rod in my arsenal, especially red fishing. The wacky worm, weightless on the spinning rod, holy shit!
That's the money.
It is unreal.
It's
very, 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 very dirty.
That's a secret I haven't told, and I've fished with him forever.
Yeah,
like literally forever. But that's like something I don't tell him.
Yeah,
I've been fishing. I keep a spinner rod with a wacky worm, weightless,
I throw
at all times because you don't know what that bite, the finesse.
Yeah,
Sometimes it's literally a change of speed on how to catch a bass. If I throw a regular carrata, I throw it, I don't get a bite. I throw a spinning reel, I get a bite. It's like it's slower.
Yeah, it's slower. And I throw my fluke on a spinning rod. I've figured that one out too, just because I don't know what it is about it, but when you throw the fluke on a spinning rod, it dives down. When you throw a fluke on a
bait
caster, it wants to dive out of the water. It wants to come out of the water. And I just noticed that. But I don't know if it's because the eyes are down or what, but I've had so much success with it.
You know what, Warhola? Even though we duck hunt and fish and do all this shit together, you know the difference between me and you?
What's that?
I got this Hoot gear on.
You do. I've been waiting for some Hoot gear.
Well, you might have to wait a little bit longer, but I'm telling you right now, I don't have to. And this shit is fucking fire.
I tried to buy some the other day, but they were sold out. So that must mean it's really good.
No, it really is. This ain't a advertisement commercial. Like, this is actually the podcast. I'm just going to go ahead and give props. Like, up north, we hunted with the Hoot gear. They have, like, the Buho or Buho, however they pronounce it. I can't read. Jackets and pants, and that's where I will give the Hoot gear. And even people that I know that hunt with Sitka, they'll say Hoot gear has the best pants for, like, dry weather hunting and shit like that. They're water resistant. They're warm. They're great.
I like the logo too.
Oh, the logo's dope.
Yeah.
And we just got these hoodies here a while back, and they killed it. I love it.
No, that hoodie's top notch. I hunted in it Sunday. It's
That's good.
rained on us a little bit, and I was drying that thing.
And this one?
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about you hunted in the big one.
No, that one right there. I hunted in that one on Sunday, and
Yeah, you did.
I don't know that those are advertised as water resistant or whatever, but
it worked.
It worked. Yeah, I didn't get wet.
No, these things are fucking awesome.
I like the pattern too. Like fits with everything we do down here and up north.
Robson and Steven killed it.
Yeah, good job.
Like straight up, they killed it. I've wore this jacket all day. Loved it. It was this morning started out 38 degrees and ended up in 55 degrees. I wore it all day.
Yeah,
I was warm all day. I never got hot. It's enjoyable, and I love those guys over there, and I'll support them. They did their professional photo shoots this week of wearing their shit, and like Steven wore a Bayou Dragon hat, the same one Mitchell's wearing right now.
Nice.
Those are some solid photos.
Dude, they were great. Like they took 4K quality photos going, shee, wearing Bayou Dragon hat and Hoot gear, fucking shit.
Nice.
Love it. Also, what we're going to talk about, Ryan. So we've talked about in previous podcasts, you're a business owner, part business owner in this company called Dragon Wrap Industrial.
Mm-hmm.
Dragon Industrial Wrap.
Mm-hmm.
However you want. The first thing that pops up on every single Bayou Dragon podcast.
Yeah.
But you came out with something that is useful for everyone. And I'm saying everyone, me. You came out with something that I can use because I'm not a pipeline owner. I'm not some kind of big dick dude. But you have at home Dragon Wrap.
Yeah. Yep.
Do you want to talk about it a little bit? I'm
Yeah.
holding it up.
So basically what it is, it's our what we use in the facilities and the pipelines, midstream, Exxon Mobil's, whatever. It's our water activated fiberglass wrap that you can use to fix your pipes at home, or if your mailbox gets hit by the local kids and you just stand it back up, you can put it back up and wrap around the post and it'll stay up. It's our kind of like a multi-purpose wrap.
Dude, it says stop leaks fast.
Mm-hmm.
Works on PVC, metal, quotes, all metals, wood, fiberglass, rubber, plastic piping, drums, tanks, more. 3 simple steps. Prep the surface, prep the wrap, wrap the surface. Yep. It tells you how to do that, which prepping the wrap is putting water on it.
Exactly, yeah. And you got to do some surface prep, which it comes with the sandpaper, yep, gloves, a rag. And then on the back, there's a QR code. You can scan it. And you can see my handsome self showing you how to do a wrap.
Is that the one that Matt did?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So, look, guys that are watching this, girls that are watching this, whatever the fuck you want to be. Look, I am not the person to, go behind something that I'm not going to use. I swear to God I'm going to use this week because I've had a piece of pipe, PVC pipe, that's been broken since last year. I just have 2 different wells, so I've been running off a different well. I'm going to use this week on some PVC pipe that's been broken since last year. I'm going to wrap it up. Then I'm going to go ahead and insulate it for this coming winter because it's been almost a whole year since I haven't used that piping. And I'm going to be fine. Yep. This is something that I will use.
I actually, so I had some in my truck for y'all. I've had 4.
For a while.
Well, I had 4 of them in my truck. You got 3 tonight because when I went to the deer lease this past week, I pulled in. Naturally, there's a water leak.
Got it.
And so I dug it up, used one of the kits I was going to give y'all, wrapped it, I shut the water off, wrapped it, let it cure, turn the water back on, fixed. I didn't have to cut nothing out. Took me 5 minutes to wrap it. I let it sit for an hour, turn the water back on.
Look,
ball game.
You can't beat that.
And is that video that Matthew posted of you online, like on YouTube?
Yeah, it's on YouTube. Yeah.
Okay, so
it's under Dragon Home Solutions.
If you go to Dragon Home Solutions, you can see a video already prepared, and I've seen it, and it's legit. Like they drill a hole in some PVC pipe. They put this on it. Like, they're running water through it. Seals it, works.
Yep.
Me and Mitchell are going to do a video here soon. Could be tomorrow, could be next week. I'm going to take a fucking sawzall to a fucking piece of pipe that has water running through it, wrap it up, start it back. Like, this shit is for real.
Yeah.
For real that I'm...
As long as you can turn the water off, which any home, you could turn your water off at either, if it's a well, you turn it off at the well, or if it's city water, you turn it off at the road.
Let it cure.
You got to turn the water off. It can still have like some water coming out as long as it doesn't have pressure. It's water activated, so water helps it. Wrap it. You got to let it cure. You can't just wrap it and 5 minutes later turn the water back on. You got to let it sit, and it depends on the temperature outside. If it's cold, it's going to take longer to cure. But you just got to go out there and touch it and feel it. You'll know when it's cured. It's going to be hard as a rock.
Yeah.
Turn the water back on.
You know,
done.
Like, dude, I've seen it. I've seen it in action. I have the perfect, like, I had a pipe straight up fucking blow up last year. And I've been, like, when you told me you're going to give me one of these, I was like, perfect. I'm about to use that to fix all of my problems.
Yeah, it'll work.
Because I know it will physically work. Like, I am perfectly fine with it.
It's the same technology we use every day, day in, day out, 7 days a week to fix the problems with pipes in petrochemical facilities across the country. We even do it in Africa, South America.
Speaking of South America, Africa, so getting off the duck hunting and shit like that, you've done a little bit of deer hunting this year. I don't know if you've shot anything, but you, so last few podcasts ago, we talked about you going down to South Africa and hunt.
Yep.
You had one of the guys.
I had
from South Africa.
my professional hunter, Martin Nippier. That's how you say his last name. He came up and he got to go hunting in Texas and sat in a bow blind over a feeder and thought it was the coolest fucking thing ever because he used to watch it on ESPN when he was a kid and sitting in a bow blind and hunting whitetails is what was always on TV.
And he got to do it.
Yeah, he got to do it. He borrowed my bow, took it and shot it, learned, how it shot and kind of figured out. Wasn't quite right for him, but he figured out how to compensate. He ended up killing 2 very nice old bucks with my bow.
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was a really great time. Him and his girlfriend came down, and we had an absolute time. And he's also a very, very, very talented musician.
Oh, wow.
Plays guitar, sings country music, and was in a country music band in South Africa with his dad. I'd actually like Rance to meet him, and they would actually really enjoy each other because both of them, play guitar and sing and whatnot. And I got to bring him to Lukenbach, and you'd have thought I brought him to Disney fucking World. I mean, he thought it was the coolest fucking thing ever.
Well, probably one of the most renowned songs ever for country music is "Let's Go to Lukenbach, Texas."
Yeah. Oh,
like,
no.
So,
yeah. So he was eating it up, man.
Fucking, yeah.
Yeah. No, it was awesome. It was really fun. He, and I got some videos. I'll send you the videos, and y'all can share them if you want to, of us tracking one of his deer that he shot and him just being like so appreciative. And it's nothing special. It's like 110-inch 8-point.
After he watched you shoot 1,130 yards on a fucking
Eland?
Blessbach.
Blessbach was along. Eland. I shot Eland at 820. After I shot all these freaking animals that I would never dream that I'd ever get to kill, like just stuff. It was the same for me. I used to watch Africa hunting on TV and I always wanted to go, and I got to go, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. And he got to come over here and whitetail hunt.
And I guess that's dude. We take shit for granted, but also they take shit for granted.
Oh, 100%.
Like he sees Eland, he sees Gensbach and Jensbach and all these different bucks and all this shit. The only thing he doesn't get is Shiner buck. And we're over here shooting whitetail, Neil Guy, Axis. Shit he doesn't get to see.
No, he thought it was the coolest.
So he thought it was cool as fuck.
Ever,
So I respect it whenever someone comes from somewhere else and it's like, dude, I love this.
And I've just booked my flight back. I go back in February.
Going for round 2?
I am going Cape Buffalo hunting, and then after I shoot a Cape Buffalo, if I shoot a Cape Buffalo, I will shoot some other things.
Hell
So.
yeah. That's awesome, man.
The end of February. Yep, I'm going the last week of February, and I'm super jacked about it.
That's going to be nice.
January 23rd, 24th, 25th. What are you?
I'll be there the 20th to the 29th.
I need to talk to my wife.
Yeah, you ought to come.
I might.
You ought to come. It's actually affordable, like we talked about prior.
Yeah.
And it's a very unique experience that everybody needs to try once in their life.
I would like to do it. And I really don't even have to shoot anything. Like, and I'm saying this like, dude, if I could just be there for it, dude, I'll bring Mitchell or Matthew's camera and just sit behind you and film. Like, that'd be so.
I've already paid the videographer.
Oh,
like I did on the last one. Yeah, I'm super excited about that. It's going to be over my shoulder the whole time. So
that's cool. You get to document the whole experience. Yeah. That's what I like about doing what we do. Try to document as much as we can, because when we get old, man, I'd like to look back and say, man, show my son, this is what we used to do.
100%. The pictures that y'all got on Saturday and Sunday. I mean, it was holy shit. Epic.
Yeah. Epic photos, epic hunts, that's great times, man.
That's where I'll give Mitchell and Matthew like the utmost credit, respect. Like, if you've watched any of our last couple of videos, like that video Mitchell posted yesterday on the Bayou Dragons, and this is, I don't want to lie to y'all. So today is, what is today? 27th. So the 26th. The 26th of November, Mitchell posted a video that was just dumb.
It was solid, man.
It was solid. Like, that was a fantastic fucking video. Go back to the Bayou Dragons. If you watch this, you haven't seen it, go back to November 26th and just watch that video. Like, that video is awesome, dude.
Yeah. And Matt took some of those clips too, but yeah, dude, it's great. And just being able to have the opportunity to do that, it's jam up, man. I enjoy it. I soak it in, and I don't take it for granted,
Just off Saturday and Sunday, you could make a 30-minute video.
Oh, yeah, if you wanted to.
Of what y'all took.
Yeah.
Video. I mean, picture-wise and video-wise, like, stupid.
But the thing is, like, on those hunts, like, I did not have my camera out that much.
Yeah.
Like, it was just, I was fucking shooting.
Yeah.
Like, I only had it out a little bit, and I was still able to get all that badass stuff. So
yeah, that's awesome.
No, it was a great hunt. I had a great hunt with Warhola this week. We have we have the whole second half going for us. We're going to have the winners of the
drawing.
The drawing will be out.
That's going to be fun.
We're going to, we'll post the winners of the drawings whenever we start hunting with them.
Yeah. They're only going to get a hunt with 2 people.
Yeah.
But everybody will be there at the lodge. And
we'll get to hang out at the lodge.
Yeah, no. Whenever they hunt, we're going to send, like, Matthew or Mitchell with them so they can film. Yeah. Like one of us is going to sit out, which is fine with me. I'll just sit at the lodge.
100% fine with sitting at the lodge.
Well, you'll probably be videoing. You'll probably be there. Like, I'll probably be the one sitting at the lodge, which is fine with me.
I mean,
I'll sit there and have fucking steaks ready if we need to.
It's going to be a great weekend.
It's going to be a great weekend.
Good time.
We already have the winners picked out. They're going to be, it's going to be a good time.
Yep.
Everybody will figure out whenever we do it. We're going to do it a little bit different because, we're outlaws.
It's going to be an eye-opening experience, too, especially if somebody from out of state draws it, because they're going to get to shoot stuff that they haven't got to shoot,
Yeah.
And hopefully Rance will show up with a guitar.
I'm not going to say I'm 100%, but I am 98% sure I can tell that motherfucker, be like, hey, dude.
Come by.
Just for a little bit.
Sit by the fire.
Yeah, dude. Everybody will enjoy it. Like, even the other guys.
Even in their groups, yeah.
The other groups, other guides that are there, they'll be like, we have professional Texas country music playing. We're cooking food. We're hanging out. It's going to be a whole experience for everybody that is present.
Yeah.
So, it's not just going to be for just them. Like, we didn't want to do this just for somebody else. Like, we're going to enjoy the whole situation too.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
like, it's not like something that we get to do all the time. Like, we're inviting 2 people for a 2-day duck hunt for, like, shit that all of us get to cherish. It's
going to be really cool because we don't know who's going to get drawn, and we're going to probably make 2 new friends.
Maybe.
Hopefully they're not assholes. We'll see.
Maybe they're not assholes. Maybe they're hot. Maybe they're
might be huge dickheads. Who knows?
Who knows?
That's fine.
That's I'm not gonna say that's fine, but
yeah.
I really don't think anyone that bought a ticket.
I was about to say, I think with the following that y'all have, you're gonna get a genuinely good person.
Yeah, anyone that bought a ticket is not gonna be a cocksucker.
Yeah,
really, like, because they wouldn't have bought a ticket if they didn't like us or want to enjoy something like that.
Definitely someone who wants to be around and it likes the outdoors, so it's going to be fun.
But
absolutely.
No, this has been I'll tell you this, it's been a very good podcast. Ryan, hands down, this has been our most talk about hunting and fishing podcast. Yeah. This has been the mecca of all of them.
Yeah,
saying, like, usually we bullshit about this. We'll talk about this, but like, this was predominantly a fishing and hunting podcast, 100%. And I mean, that's what we're about.
Yeah,
I like to hit every aspect of it, and I hope our listeners and people that follow us enjoy it. I know majority will.
Absolutely. I will say one thing though. And I'm not sponsored. I'm not anything, but I want to plug them. Sure Shot game calls and Redbone game calls. Wow. Especially like this weekend, blowing the Ensign 1 and blowing that Redbone spec call. Really, really, really impressive. And I've always grown up blowing them and using those duck calls, but man, especially going to the shop there in Beaumont and actually sitting down and like getting to test each one out and talking with everybody, I really, wow. I just, the way they do their calls now and the way they sell them is leaps and bounds better than what it used to be.
Swamp Seeker.
Yeah.
Swamp Seeker, Andrew Austin runs that shit.
I walked in there and I wanted a new Redbone spec call, and Andrew's like, I have one in the back I've been working on. And I picked it up and I blew it one time. I was like, I have to have this call. And he's like, that was mine, but you can have it. And I had to end up buying it, but yeah.
He's good, man. He's really good. I'm glad that he got partnered with Jay. I like what they've been doing over there.
Yeah. No, the shop's cool as shit. That's the first time I walked in. It was right before season. I was like, ooh, I really like this.
Like, we have no.
And I've never I mean, I knew Jay. Like, we both graduated. We graduated high school at the same time. We played baseball together against each other, not together. He hit a home run on me at one point that I don't think has fucking landed yet. Like back in 2003.
They're still flying.
Or 4. But I know his wife Hannah real well because we went to high school together. Yeah. And I'm really glad somebody that I semi-know bought the company and is putting it. Revamping it and actually doing very well with it.
I truly respect it. He messaged us when he first started and told us his plan with it. Look, like, we don't have like some kind of written contract with Sure Shot or nothing like that. Like, dude, you do it, we'll back you up because you're local.
Well, I mean, like I said, I'm not sponsored by him or anything. I have no reason to blow their calls. I've got a 650, a Jensen 1.2, and a Redbone on my lanyard right now.
Yeah.
They make good calls, man.
They have good calls. You can check them out. Sure Shot. Check our boys out at Hunt Hoot, though. Not saying they pay us money either, but Hunt Hoot camo.
Yeah.
They have some dope ass shit.
And the agitator?
Animator.
Yeah.
Dude, there's a bunch of shit that I just want to put my name on.
Yeah.
Even though my name's not technically on it. But, dude, the Animator is the truth.
So, and we didn't even touch on this. Sunday when we hunted and then they brought the Animators, it was blowing. Wind was blowing 15, 20 out of the north.
Yeah.
Even with that wind, there was ripples in the water, but the sound, I don't know how to explain the sound. It sounds like ducks messing around on the water, like flapping their wings, running on the water,
Even
whatever.
Even
with the wind was very noticeable. And I would say 80 to 90% of our birds tried to decoy on top of the Animators.
Yeah.
And we had a very, very nice spread. Majority of our decoys were north of the animators, but the ducks tried to go on the animators almost every time.
Yeah.
Look,
it's impressive.
check them out. Those guys are the truth. They're all the guys that I've met over at the animators and Bluebird Waterfowl. They've been awesome.
Yeah.
Every single one of them been awesome.
It's a very cool product.
No.
It's the first time I've been around it. It's a very cool product.
That's what I will say. The Bayou Dragons have been putting themselves around
Shit that works.
shit that works. Like that's why I'll put my name on this hunt hoot because it's different. It's unique. I mean, this whole thing is owl feathers, this camo, dope. The animator, the noise it makes. If it's a calm ass day, the splash it makes. Like you're getting movement on the water from it. Your sure shot game calls. Like dude, you can have the whole perfect package with shit that we've
quality, man. We associate ourselves with quality products that perform and that work.
I don't want to put my name behind something that doesn't work.
Absolutely not.
That's why we're going to put our name, Ryan, behind this Dragon Industrial Wrap, this at-home solution.
You can find it on Amazon.
Hell yeah.
I dropped it, and I didn't even...
Yeah. You can't break it, so it's okay. No, it's on Amazon. It's live. You can buy it on Amazon right now. So
look, for the cold weather, everybody getting ready for that. You have a home leak, buy this. It has step-by-step instructions.
Yeah, and it has a 6-year shelf life. So as long as you leave it inside your house, just put it in the top of your cabinet, or if you got a home improvement drawer or whatever, you stick it in there. It's going to be fine as long as it's room temperature.
I'm telling you right now, and there's no lie. Like, if I'm lying, I'm dying. I'm using it this a week because I got a fucking leak at my house from last year that I just swapped wells. I literally swapped wells just haven't fixed it because I've been a lazy piece of shit. I'm going to go fix it with this, and I'm going to go swap back to my other well.
Yeah.
So, y'all need to check this out. The shit's for real.
Well, we appreciate everyone tuning in, and we'll try to pump out another episode before the second split, but we probably going to have a pretty busy second split. We're going to be hunting as much as we can, but appreciate everyone hanging out, listening to us, and we will see y'all on the next episode.
Thank y'all, everyone.
Been fun.